right now, during this pandemic, we should not be required to put on fucking clothes. Hey, it's me, Brianca Jay, and I'm here to talk to you about all things lit. You can catch me here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I give you book reviews, book recommendations, and literary analysis. But today, as I said, we're switching it up a little bit. I'm actually going to be talking about my college experience and how I was able to position myself with an English literature degree. I wanted to talk about this because everybody will tell you that there is no way to make money with an English degree. I am the few and one who will tell you that that is not true. You can and you will, and if it's what you really want to do and it's your passion, like it was my passion, I want you to go ahead and do it. Now, don't leave. I'm going to tell you a few tips to make sure that you'll be successful, so stick around. Today is a little different, mostly because I don't feel like it. But I still want to give you guys content, and many of you may be wondering, what could I possibly do with this passion for reading, and if we should pursue an English literature degree. As you know, I graduated with an English literature degree for undergrad, and then I went back for my master's on an apprenticeship. So I have a good idea of what the lessons will be about, as well as some of the things you will be able to tackle once you graduate. Okay, yes, so many people wonder, like, should you pursue an English literature degree? And for me, myself, when I first decided to go to college, I went on almost every website that talked about a literature degree just so I could get an idea of what I was getting into and if I would, like, be able to sustain myself once I graduated. And I found that a lot of what they said, alright, so personally, to me, I personally love that I studied English. If I could have studied anything else, it would have been something like physics or something like algebra. But for me, like, studying literature literally was what I wanted to do, because when I went into college, I wanted to become a writer. And so I felt I should study the greats, learn the classics, learn the basics, learn the importance, and then be able to create my writing career off of, like, all that strong foundation. So that was the reason I went. However, everybody that went into my department had other ideas that they wanted to do. Some of them decided to be teachers. Some of them wanted to go into publishing. Some of them wanted to be lawyers. Some of them wanted to be judges. Many of them wanted to be maybe journalists. Like, it was different things that the degree plan could do, because it's very broad. So the subject of English literature in itself is very broad. You could definitely be a journalist with this type of background. You could be in marketing, advertising. You could do social media. You could become a YouTube star. You could be a lawyer. That is a normal position. But anywhere that communication is important, English is going to be important. I know you probably like, I read that already, girl. But seriously, like, I have been successful in a number of positions, including freelance writing. I did blogging for a long time. I wrote about commercial real estate for a while. I still continue to write resumes. Like, I do really well with, like, a side job where I only write resumes. And I've been doing that since high school, and that always is an extra like $75 to $100 per resume. So, you know, think about where your skill set is and maybe get some hustles. I also did good with contract writing. So that's the thing about English. It's gonna be about you niching down on your own. Because the degree in itself is very broad, you are gonna have a ton of options, and unless you niche down on your particular specialty and your particular skill set, you can almost overwhelm employers. So even when it comes down to doing your applications and your cover letters, your degree in English is going to help you, because you're going to be able to interpret that message better than most people as far as what they're looking for, what buzzwords stuck out, what is their main goal here, and filling a role, and then shaping your resume and cover letter to match it. So yeah, written and verbal communication is a skill set that everybody wants and everybody needs, and it is one that you can't make it out of the school without gaining in some way. To be successful in literature, it's going to be about analysis. It's going to be about breaking down those nuanced subtleties, and then applying them in universal ways. So just on that basis alone, you are going to be a skilled person just on that basis alone. Your ability to argue, cite your sources, explain your ideas, and articulate yourself is going to make you a powerhouse no matter what industry you go in. I promise you. The ability to just know what you're talking about and present it in a logical, articulate manner is a skill set that is underrepresented across all industries. So with you getting a literature degree, it's almost as if you're positioning yourself to be a spokesperson or a public speaker in some form, because you're usually going to be the one creating the content, making the facts, polishing, proofreading, revising, and editing. No matter where you end up, people typically are going to look to you to look over their emails. They're going to look to you to look over contracts. So just think about, what skill am I going to pick up in English literature, or what skills do I like, right? What industries do I like? Almost think like, I'm going into college and I'm going to study, but I will also have to figure out a way to apply these skills later. So almost two things. So I'll say, if you do go in to get an English literature degree, it's not the end of the world. You will be able to sustain yourself. You will make money. I guarantee it. You're going to be okay. What I do think you should do, my recommendation, is get a internship in a second industry that you like a lot. For instance, perhaps you want to do journalism. So you're studying literature, but get an internship in journalism, right? Get an internship in that area. If you want to be in education, study literature, but get an internship in education, because you're going to have to show your employer or future employer that your skill set does match up, and that internship will allow you to boost your resume. If you can't find an internship, that's fine. Join a club that is geared towards that idea. So maybe you can't find an internship in journalism. That's cool. Join the university newspaper. Join wherever your interests are, whatever your passions are. Join the clubs. Get involved, because your literature degree is going to be the backbone and the basis, but people are going to test your ability to say, yes, I know my stuff, and yes, my degree is worth a lot more than what you immediately think. Because it doesn't sound important at first. It is, but people don't recognize it, so you have to take on the extra effort of being a hustler and proving that your degree is worth it. You're gonna have to show them. So join the clubs, get the internships, put yourselves in the scenarios, speak up in the meetings, cite your sources, show them, even in your speech, even in the interview, even on your resume, even on your cover letter. Every step of the way, you're gonna have to show them how you outshine the others. It's a competition, right? Going from college to the real world is a competition, and you have to show that you're outdoing the neighbor. And because you have a skill set where you have written skills and verbal skills, you should be able to shine through any application, through any interview, through any resume, right? So that's what you need to be thinking about if you get a college degree in literature. You will make money. You will be fine. You do have a lot of options, which makes it challenging. The number of options in itself creates a challenge, because you're now responsible for your own future. You're going to have to decide which way you want to go and how you want to get there. The good thing is, there's no wrong way. If you get into broadcast journalism and you spend 5 years there and you hate it, well, cool. Now go be a teacher or what have you. So there is tons of opportunity with the degree. It is going to be up to you to utilize it to your advantage. and it's going to be up to you to prove your worth. But I do want you to know that that is in any industry. If you became a lawyer, it's going to be up to you to get your own clients, and it's going to be up to you to win your own cases. So it really doesn't change. If you go into undergrad and get an English literature degree, you will find that it's not much different from any other degree. It is all about the way you choose to use it. I highly recommend that you find ways to amplify your resume and amplify your application. Because you're not using a specialized degree plan, you do have more options, but you're not so specifically trained. And so by joining those extra clubs and doing those extra initiatives, you're able to pad your resume and get an extra or a longer glance from employers. Of course, you could always go freelance. You could always pedal through. I think I spent 2 years without a job, simply sustaining myself on writing alone. So it is possible. You can totally do it. It really is going to come down to you and what you want to do for yourself. My name is Brianca Jay. I appreciate you guys for checking in and hanging out with me. I hope this video was helpful, and you can catch me here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll be back to talk to y'all all the time.